Good afternoon. Welcome to Smart Trucking Live. I'm here with the Lettuce King. It's our Christmas stream. Say hi, Lettuce King.
How's everybody doing? I'm here.
Trucker Hershey, hello, sir. Cash J, good day. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas to you, sir. Roger Penske, hey, man, how are you doing? How's things in the port? Roger runs out of the ports with sea cans.
Oh, yeah?
One of our longtime buddies. Trucker Hershey, Merry Christmas. Kevin Pollard, Merry Christmas. Pollard. Oh, Kevin, you know who I mean. Merry Christmas to you, sir. Thomas Sinclair, Thomas from Charleston, South Carolina. Merry Christmas and keep the rubber side down. Same to you, Thomas. Thank you for joining us. Little Trucker Bear. Good evening, Dave. Good evening, Little Trucker Bear. Roger, was at work today, but I'll take it I'm just getting off and packing my stuff up in the car. Well, get your stuff done, Roger. We'll still be here for a while yet, so don't let us interfere with your packing. Fred Besmer. Fred works for Gary Mercer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, Fred.
Fred, how are you doing? Glad you could join us.
Gary's the best.
Yeah, Gary's a good guy. Kelly Patterson, afternoon all. Tim Field, afternoon. Heavy Haul Nick, hello, Merry Christmas from Pittsburgh, PA. I was trying to relate to Nick there last stream where it was I got lost in Pittsburgh. Did you ever do much in Pittsburgh?
Not.
I was there once and I got lost.
Yeah. Not on purpose.
Yeah, yeah. Chris Hamilton, the Lettuce King. There's a fan. Happy to see you.
Sorry. Poor guy.
Hamish K. Hope all you truckers are doing well. Riley's here. John Irvin. Hello, Dave, Kat, Nick, and the Lettuce King. Merry Christmas. Alaska Trucker. Hello, everyone. Stobbs from Finland.
Oh.
Lettuce Grinch and Dave the Reindeer. I know. These are his outfits. I don't want you guys to think that I own clothing like this. This is stuff that he makes me wear for the Christmas stream.
Don't listen to him.
Yeah. Lettuce King. Did you know the Mac anthem is a Lettuce King with a bulldog on it?
Really? No, I didn't know that. A Lettuce King with a...
Did you know that the Mac anthem is a Lettuce King with a bulldog on it?
No.
No, news to me. There's Hamish K saying something here. What's Hamish
Mac
saying?
Anthem. I didn't even know.
Oh, he's talking to you.
Oh.
How's the Pete 359? Do you call that a 359 or a 351? It's a 351, Hamish.
It's a 351, 359, 379.
Yeah. It's a combination of a few different trucks, but
There's even a little Kenworth in it, but I won't.
yes,
tell you. I
yes,
won't
that's
tell
a
you.
secret though. But he's got it all put together or put to bed for the winter, as is my Pete. So they're fair weather trucks. Those trucks. Chase the Master. Good afternoon. Haven't been on stream for a while. Good to be back. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Chase. Chris. Good lettuce. Good King Lettuce. Good King Lettuce.
Yeah.
There's a Christmas carol like that. Last looked out on the feast of...
It's something like that. Yeah.
Something.
Ended up on a Big Mac.
Dave, blink twice if you're being held against your own will. Here's Roger's got us on online phones in the pocket with the earbuds are in, so he's set to go home in the car and he can still hear us. Labor Law Act. Did you bring any fresh, crispy Lettuce King?
Better than carrots.
All he hauls now are like D9 cats. No more produce for
No
the
more
Lettuce
produce.
King.
No.
Still got a reefer.
Still got the reefer, yeah.
But doesn't, just uses it for play rather than for work anymore. Right?
Storage anymore.
And storage. Little Trucker Bear. Lettuce King is a Volvo with a bulldog. If I say weird stuff, it's my phone 13.
He says it's my iPhone 13.
Oh.
Is a Volvo
Okay.
with a bulldog.
Autocorrect is doing its thing. Hopefully somebody is. Johnny Cash Peterbilt. One piece at a time. Yeah,
That's
it was.
right.
It was
Exactly
kind of like
right.
that,
Yep.
Fred. It was pretty much like that. Fred, have you ever seen this truck that he built? It's amazing. It's kind of in your neck of the woods here too. So I didn't know if you'd ever come across it or not. Brianna Walsh. Hey, Brianna, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us. So, onto the program this evening. I'm wondering now if any of you, like, what are you guys doing for Christmas? Is there anyone that's actually having to work through the holidays? Because I got thinking about it seems to me back when the Lettuce King and I ran, and we would run if we chose to through the holidays because the money was really good.
Yeah.
But these days it seems like the company drivers could be forced back. What do you want to say?
I just seen Riley there. Thanks for the condolences about my dad, Riley. I really appreciate it.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, thanks, Riley. But it seems a lot of the new drivers, those mitts are freaking me out.
Do you like that?
No. It seems like a lot of the new drivers now are being forced dispatched out over the holidays, which that never used to happen to us. If we chose to go, it was our decision. But the carriers would never force guys out over the holidays back in the day. And I can't believe how many guys now that it happens to. And I just wondered if any of you guys were in that boat. Any of you are going to be forced dispatched out. And do you think that's right?
Not if you don't want to go. You know, my
Yeah.
opinion on forced dispatching, I was always one of those kind
Yeah.
of guys, right? You know? You see my...
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, no, it's not right if you don't, but I've been that way with everything. I've never been big on forced
I
dispatching.
don't like people telling me what to do. So
No.
and you can kind of sympathize sometimes with the new guys that get with the carrier and they don't want to say no, or they're scared to say no because they really need the job or something. So I can see it happening to some of the new guys, but I don't like it. Come show us here. But I don't think it's right. I think they're trying to maximize the hours that you work, and there's get in the screen there. Show everybody there. Here comes Kathy. Everybody, this is Kathy's outfit for Christmas. She's setting up the mics for us. But yeah, I don't think it's right. I know some carriers today are doing that, but are any of you guys being forced out? Because I hope not. I hope not. And I think that a lot of the trucking today has gone downhill because truck drivers sometimes these days, because they're new, just are scared to say no. Whereas got his hat going. Whereas we were never afraid to say no. In fact, I kind of look forward to saying no.
Yeah, a lot of the times. It's
Yeah.
kind of my highlight, yeah.
Yeah, but
That's like that with any job, though. When you're new, you tend to get the short end of the thick stick.
Yeah, but like to do it to guys at Christmas time of all things.
I didn't really mind, though. But...
Lettuce King.
Oh, huh.
Have you heard Center Lane Larry? To quote Tony Justice, he signed on with Swift, went to their 6-week driving school. He's a member of the ATA, is a real truck driving fool. Do you know what he's talking about here?
Nope.
Lettuce King, have you ever heard of the Center Lane Larry? No, I haven't heard of him.
No, I do like Tony Justice.
Do you?
Even though it's a country, I'm not a country guy, but Tony's a good guy.
Is he?
Met him before, yeah.
Oh, you met him?
Yep.
Yeah?
Down at Matt's.
At Matt's. He's a decent guy, though? Oh,
Yes,
that's good to know. Has a trucker background?
Yeah. He does drive a truck, as far as I know, still.
Really? Patrick, Jerry. Dave and the Lettuce King, what's your guys' opinion of the N14 Red Top 525 Select Plus? I'll let you field that one, G.
Well, there's two things that start with C, Dave.
Cummins
And
Caterpillar. Crap. You're not getting me in trouble.
come on. I'm not a Cummins fan.
Lettuce King, in fact, was the guy that talked me out of buying Cumminses and talked me into getting cats. So we were talking about that last stream. But I was having my last Big Cam 3 was just a dog.
Yes, that's an understatement.
And the Lettuce King's truck was just stomping all over me.
But since then, I had the 600 Signature.
Oh, that's right.
That was a big pile of steaming dog, you know what.
But I forgot about that truck.
And my work truck now has a Cummins in it, a 565, and it's a bigger pile of steaming dog.
Here's Balwinder.
Oh,
I was forced to do a delivery of cement on Super B trailers. Roads were icy in our yard and its exit was a mess. I just told them my truck is stuck in the yard. They asked me to put chains on.
Chains. What are the chains?
And where's the rest of the comment? Because I can't.
You could tell your chain story with Dean Auger.
That was your chain story with Dean Auger.
My hands.
But yeah, no. I wonder if it's crap out. You know who's going to get the blame if you slide into the ditch or something like that. So no, you did the right thing, man. You stay in the yard and go no. Let them find some other fool to get out on the ice. Dispatchers, a lot of them have no concept of what they're asking of you.
No, and at the end of the day, if you crash or something happens, they're going to blame you.
It's going to be your fault.
For sure.
Here's heavy haul, Nick. Cummins are great if you have all day to pull one hill.
Yeah. That's right, Dave.
I don't know. I heard the new 605s are pretty good, but
Oh yeah.
I never tried one. What was it? Did you know that Cummins makes a Euro engine and a North American engine?
No.
I didn't know that either until.
I would imagine that'd be different emissions
It must be,
regulations.
eh?
For
I
sure.
don't know much about it.
Guaranteed. I think Caterpillar's available in different places of the world other than here.
Cummins are too slow for Fuller. Prefer much better having a Rolls-Royce Eagle. No need to wait for the revs to drop. He's talking transmissions here. European transmissions.
Yeah, well, the Rolls Royce would be.
Jeez, Rolls-Royce. I didn't know they made it.
I didn't know either.
Huh. I bet you that's not cheap. I bet you it's beautiful. Little Trucker Bear, Lettuce King. Did you like the Peterbilt 567?
No.
And we both agree with you that the 589 is the worst. That's sorry to see them go down that road. Does the Lettuce King like his pizzas deep and crisp and even? How does the Lettuce King like his pizzas? Deep and crisp?
Deep dish.
Yeah, the deep dish.
Deep dish.
We agree on that. We're both deep dish pizza fans.
One more time. The Mack Anthem is a Volvo with a Bulldog on it. Oh, I get where he's going. Because Mack and Volvo are the same motors and shit, right?
Now they
okay,
are.
I get
That's
you. So
right.
the Anthem, not the song, not like an anthem is a song. It's a model of the truck. Okay, I get you now.
Look at this.
Got you, little bear. Huh?
Do you ever watch those Bruce Wilson videos?
No, who's Bruce Wilson?
He's a YouTuber that talks about, like, right now he's on Scanias. He's been buying Scanias. He went over to Scania.
Oh, I
factory.
did see that. I don't know who he is, but I seen it. And he brought it here and got stopped at the border and all that
that's the
shit.
guy, that's the
Okay,
guy.
I seen it, but I didn't pay
Yeah,
attention.
no, we kind of know who he is, but he's
Yeah.
not a truck driver.
I only seen it because he took it down to the guys at Fitzgerald's
yeah,
there.
Fitzgerald,
So-
yeah. But no, we're not. We don't follow Bruce Wilson. long answer short.
I only follows these serious trucking shows.
Yeah, the serious ones, like summer trucking. Like,
That's right.
Look in the mirror. Do we look like a serious show right now? We're screwed. What do
We
you?
kind of look like Harry and from Dumb and Dumber.
Perfect. Perfect. That's
Yeah.
good to bring that
That's
up.
right.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
I feel like crawling under the desk now. What? There was a good one right there. Where'd it go?
Yes.
Oh. So he says, "Oh, lowboy work now." He's talking to you.
Oh, me? Yeah, that's what I do now. Local. Well, kind of local, but yeah, it's all heavy haul.
but all by the hour.
Yes, by the hour.
So he's making the big money. Well, that was right. What have you seen the Edison Motors trucks out of BC?
No.
No, you have to look them up.
Oh yeah.
This is young logging guy has
Yeah.
built a battery operated truck that's powered by a Cat generator,
Oh,
diesel generator.
I did see
but it's
that.
like a C13 Cat.
Yeah, it's like a train with wheels.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
diesel engine running
Yeah,
a
yeah,
generator.
yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
I
cool.
guess the power of the torque would be
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
But very easy on parts, right? Because the drive motors would
That's
be in
what
the
he was
wheels, right?
saying.
Yeah.
He's got one down for testing in outside of Guelph somewhere right now.
I could see it working great in that situation. It'd probably work good everywhere, really, because as long as you had it wasn't electric and had the battery operated deal, as long as you had diesels running it.
Well, I was saying
Be
to
like a
him,
train.
he could, if you had enough battery, about shutting the cat off
Yeah.
at Reno,
Yeah.
going in and out of California
Yeah.
on the batteries,
Yeah.
then firing up the cat
Where
again.
the fuel's $7 a gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could work on that, and nobody have to worry about California anymore. I'm thinking of swapping my N14 for a Cat A6NZ.
6NZ.
Yeah,
Good idea.
good idea. Really good idea. Yeah, Fred Besmer says you get paid by the hour, as all drivers should be now with the e-logs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be. Lettuce King was smart enough to land a job like that anyway.
You don't have an e-log.
You got no nothing in there?
Nope, nothing.
Better yet.
Haven't been caught yet.
Oh, is that what it hasn't been caught yet? Bruce Wilson beat up a 96 Peterbilt 379 because it's too old.
Oh, yeah?
The guy's a bit of a
That
meathead,
Bruce Wilson?
yeah. Yeah. 6NZ are supposed to be great. That's from Chad Knose. Yes. Best cat motor, I would say. The
3406.
Yeah, best 3406.
Best all around.
Best all around. Yeah. But you had the
I've
the
had everything.
yeah, the 3408s.
Yep. 6.
Yeah.
3406C.
Yeah.
Had,
You think they're better than the C15? The 6NZ was
It's
right
just a
before
different
the
thing.
C15. Yeah.
If what are you talking best motor? Because I mean, you could in-frame a 3406 4 times for what a C15 would cost you.
yeah.
And 3406 is going to go farther than a C16 or 15 would cost you.
yeah.
But power and
Richard's got a C60.
16,
Yeah.
16 liter, yeah.
Amazing.
So does Silva.
Really?
Yeah, he's got
Oh,
he's got
I
a
didn't
6
know
and a
that.
quarter in that thing, yeah. In his 359 now.
Hellish Motors. What is an APU and what does it do? It's like a little engine all unto itself that will power your microwave or your refrigerator, or you can run your truck heater air conditioning off it. What's APU actually stand for?
Auxiliary power unit.
Auxiliary Power Unit. But,
You didn't think I'd know that, did you?
well, I didn't know, or I couldn't think of it, being old now. LK is still an outlaw. Lettuce King is still an outlaw, yeah. Yes, Fred, it just, yeah. I didn't know he wasn't running an E-log, or are you even running
Don't tell anybody.
paper logs?
No.
Not enough time for that.
No time for that, yeah.
Ain't got no time, really.
Man.
Damn, what truck was your
Oh,
friend
this
with
is,
Marty?
did you ever see that interview that we did?
No.
I've got to wait for Nick here.
Oh.
Are you going to talk about Hamish K?
You just
Okay. What truck was it your friend Marty was driving on the ice roads? Those videos were absolutely amazing. He had a Freightliner, an FLD Freightliner, and that thing with a Detroit motor, and that thing went like, it was still working. Years later, it had a Detroit engine in it. Great truck. Not Freightliner's not my first choice, but man, he sure got a lot of miles and money out of that one. Tim Field, Lettuce King. I know you were into cars, so how do you feel about the 5.9 Common Rail Cummins?
They were great. Yeah,
Right,
they were
yeah?
pickup trucks. Yeah, I had a slew of those things actually for a while. Yeah, I had a 2000. My blue dually had one in it.
Yeah,
I had a
that's
white
right.
one. I had they're cool.
Good question. Where are we here? Adrian, Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas to you, Adrian. Craig Beats, my kind of trucking. Yeah. Have you heard any new changes on the hours of service? I hear there's a group in the States lobbying to go back to the 8 and 10 rather than the 11 and 14 rule. You remember the 8 and 10, and you could adjust your logbooks, like when you stop for a sleep.
I never
you
did
could-
that.
No. Didn't you?
Never adjusted my log date.
No, I'm not talking about you. I meant the system.
Oh.
Never mind what you did. But a lot of guys like that 8 and 10 system, and with the paper logs. So yeah, that's what a lot of guys want to get back to, because this ELD and the 11 and 14 got
My
them
most
so
frequent
screwed up.
DOT line.
What?
What's my most frequent DOT line?
Where does it say that?
Right there. What's your most frequent DOT lie? Up there, little trucker bear guy. See, right there.
What is your most frequent DOT lie? We won't tell anybody with your permission. What is your? That's a good question. What is your most frequent?
God, see, they're different now, but with something, that wasn't like that this morning.
Yeah, it wasn't like that when I left. I did my circle check and it was okay.
Yeah, I did my circle check.
Yeah.
That was pretty much always that, because if I ever got stopped for anything more than that, it was all done anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. I was telling them about the time you got, what scale was it you got handcuffed? The Michigan or
Michigan?
Michigan, they handcuffed you to the railing there.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was for having a scanner in the truck.
Is that what that was?
That was what it was for. The guy seen the antenna on the mirrors, and it wasn't even my truck. I was just filling in, driving Herd's truck for the week.
Tim Field says, "So you do like Cummins?" That's the guy. It's a trick
come
question.
On.
He outsmarted you.
Wow.
But we don't consider pickup trucks real trucks.
They make more horsepower than your old truck did.
Do you see that Cummins is in trouble now for beating the emissions regulations on the Dodge Ram trucks?
Oh, yeah?
That's in the news today. They just got like a $1.5 billion fine. They had a workaround system just like Volkswagen did.
Yeah.
After 4.5 years in
very
court,
good.
Cummins just pleaded guilty.
Yeah.
We better get back to this here.
Oh, sorry.
Went back to a single turbo 16.1 compression pistons, 800 horse marine cam.
There you go.
Pete, there's a motor, Chris.
Yep.
That one that you had built.
Yep. Great Lakes diesel.
Great Lakes diesel. It was a marine engine.
Lots of marine parts in it. Yeah.
That thing pulled like Jack the Bear. He had a marine engine in the 1P to his. Man. Here's Fred. Need to get rid of the 14-hour rule. That would give you more flexibility, and get rid of the ELD would give you more flexibility. And this 14-hour rule, the clock I got to explain it to you because you don't pay attention to any of that stuff. But you start your clock in the morning, and you can't shut it off. Like as soon as your hours of driving are up, they're up. And even if you sleep through that period,
that's
you're still
stupid.
on duty.
We need to take a little break. We need to do a little adjustment.
Oh, okay. So tell them it's a commercial. We're going to take a little quick break. I guess we've got trouble with the electronics.
No, just take a little break.
Oh, you're stop talking? Okay. I don't know what we're doing here. I'm into in 3 years, into a 4-year. Oh, it's battery issues. I'm 3 years into a 4-year lease purchase with Stevens Transport. Remember them?
Oh, yeah.
Money is good, and I'm a dedicated fleet. They're a great company. Always had my back. Just wanted to shine a positive light on them.
That's good to see somebody has something good to say about something. Eh?
Yeah, that's good to hear about Stevens. They always had really nice trucks. I remember thinking that about Stevens. And they had that Nestle's contract, and those guys ran all the time. I haven't seen one of their trucks now they used to have a terminal here in Ontario, down in Toronto, but I think that's closed now.
Here's a good question for you. So who did you think had the nicest fleet trucks?
God, there was an outfit out of Pennsylvania. I think we're back on the air. Fred Besmer just brought up a good fleet, Western out of Denver.
That's one of the ones I was going to
Yeah,
say. I was
yeah.
testing you.
They probably have the nicest fleet
That and
trucks.
Pride out of
Yeah,
Salt Lakes.
Pride out of
with the gold gray colored ones.
yeah.
There was a place out of Wyoming that had orange and
Oh,
white A models.
yeah.
Was it Sundance
Yeah.
maybe or
Tri commodities or something like Tricorp.
try
Commodities?
something.
Yeah, try something.
That's exactly it. They're beautiful
Yeah,
trucks.
beautiful trucks. So yeah, there's still some really nice fleets out there. Get rid of the 14-hour rule. That would give you more flexibility. Yeah, I agree with that. Tim Field says, yeah, he just saw that. They put defeat devices from the factory. This is the Cummins and the Dodge Rams.
Well, they make it possible to meet the emission
Yeah.
stuff and still have them run.
Yeah.
My piece of crap truck at work just spent like 6 weeks at Peterbilt because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with it.
Yeah, just...
So, and that's, let's look at Cat. It got right out of the market because they just said,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
after yourself.
Brianna Walsh wants to know, what do truckers call cars? I always call them
Four-wheelers.
Four-wheelers, yeah. Four-wheelers. Do you ever watch Vice Grip Garage from Tennessee? This is kind of
That
scary.
guy's
Oh, you know him?
I've seen it. That's the guy that goes and buys some old piece of, and makes it run and drives it
I haven't
back
seen
to.
that.
Yeah, he's a bit of a interesting cat for sure. So I have watched it.
This channel has helped me out since this is from Thomas, came out of CDL school 4 years ago. And Dave's stories have helped me defeat depression. God bless you guys, and thank you for all you do. Well, Thomas, thank you for saying so. We appreciate it. Hope you have a good Christmas. But thanks for letting us know. We try our best here at Smart Trucking. Do our best. But it's because we're all old truck drivers that we understand what you guys are going through. Good Lord, let us King. Here's Fred. Well, the price of pickups just went up after the Cummins pays for those fines. Yeah. I bet you they
Yeah,
do.
no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. They got to recoup their loss somehow. Freaking Cummins, they're experimenting with hydrogen engines and all sorts of stuff.
Again, they
now.
have no choice in the matter.
Yeah.
The and you see that new crap now that our prime minister,
Yes.
20% or whatever it is by
He'll-
this year, and
he'll
what a load of
he'll be kicked out before that
Yeah.
ever happens. Trucker Hershey says he calls them
stupid four-wheelers. Yeah.
Yeah. No ELDs means more money you could make throughout the week. Yeah, but we thought when the ELDs came in, we thought, well, they're going to know exactly how long we're sitting at a shipper's dock waiting, so we can get paid for that time. Well, it didn't work out that way at all.
The stupidest thing about the ELD thing from my point, me, I love my afternoon naps,
Yeah.
is that from my understanding, you have to truck when you're tired. You can't
Yes.
stop. And then when you're wide awake,
It's exactly, there's no flexibility.
they make it, or these guys that sleep in the fuel island because you can't move your truck 30 feet.
It's a,
Message for the last king.
What's that? Time for talking?
trucker story.
Oh,
Time for a trucker story.
okay.
Well, man, you were the first. Let
Ooh.
me hit Frank Castle here. Frank, first let me say thank you very much for the $20. Really appreciate it. Taking advantage of the weekend holiday bonus, hauling chicken feed in Ohio. Luckily, it's by the hour and AG exempt, so AG exempt, no logs. Agriculture, eh? So he doesn't have to run a log. Merry Christmas, guys. Thank you, Frank. That's kind of, yeah. It's exempt because of what they're hauling.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, remember when farm products used to be like that
Well,
100 years ago?
And I think, wasn't it during one of the hurricanes where
Yes.
things were exempt and stuff
That's
like that?
right,
So
too,
I'm
so-
sure they do have. When they
Yeah.
need it, they'll let you do it.
Yeah, when it's to their advantage, but anyway.
Hey, no
yeah.
EV trucks. I'm with you there.
Yeah, thanks, Frank. David Thomas, no EV trucks. Yeah, agree there. Hurricane has some nice trucks.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
Hurricane?
I know them. I don't know of them. It's one of those things you see. They get a lot of flack on the line. It seems some people love them and some people hate them. So I don't know anything about them though.
Tim Field, although I hate them, CR England. He means he
Oh,
hates
England?
CR
Yeah.
Back in the '80s, had
Yep.
900 A models, and
They were one of the first ones to have the
Yes.
anteaters. You were just talking about those
Yeah.
anteaters the other day.
And what's the name of the guy that owns Pride? Is it Dan England?
Yeah, he's a brother, a family of
but
England.
He
right?
has the nicest A model.
Yeah,
The one, you know,
with
the
the
one.
V8.
Yeah,
He has a couple of them, I
Beautiful
believe.
truck. Little trucker bear. I tried Western Express, but left after they begged me to lease a truck.
Oh, you know what? Western Express. There's a great story. That's different than the Western. You know, I'm in Carlisle, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
with the truck, and this guy comes in and spins around, and he's backing up, and the truck's hopping and bouncing all over the place, and I'm just like, wow, this guy's new, right? Anyways, so the guy ends up walking over, and he's looking at my truck after a while, and he's telling me the story. You know, he works for Western, you know, and he was the guy, I think I told you, that was telling me that he has to sleep inside the truck stops because they won't let
I
him.
remember
And there's
now.
no APUs on the truck, and it's freezing cold, and the truck shuts off or it won't run. But this guy, something was wrong with the truck, and he had no clue. The brakes were
I remember now.
dragging, or there was
Yeah.
something. But nice guy, but he didn't have a clue. He was new. But here's Western making him sleep in the
Yeah.
damn truck stop in a chair or something.
Western Express does not have a good reputation. We extend our work times by ejecting the driver card on the company yards. It seems that we get more leeway from the hours of service. This is back in Finland. But do you remember those tachographs?
Oh yeah, yeah, they were
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, but I think it was Stubbs was telling me that they've got like a credit card now in Europe that you insert into their ELD system, and this credit card recognizes you.
I would imagine by the driver.
Yeah.
I would say that makes sense. It's no different
Yeah.
than signing in on your tablet or whatever they
Yeah.
give you. You know,
Huh.
that's out of my technical world. You know.
Yeah, Hurricane says, or Heavy Haul says, Hurricane's always a good-looking fleet.
They got a lot of nice big rides for
Do they?
sure. Yeah.
I can't.
Pardon? Oh.
I did read that one already. Oh, Jonathan, with $2 in there. Thank you. Got my hazmat approval today. Jonathan, congratulations. You know what? I don't know if it's still the case now, but generally I made better money hauling hazmat. I hope it works out that way for you. So just make sure you got the placards on, and that's about all they'll ever bother you with.
Cash
Good-
J,
good for you.
I have seen two-stick garage. The guy just asked, we've seen that.
Oh,
got
I've seen
Mark
that.
on there.
He's Alberta or somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
Alberta, yeah.
I have seen
He's
two-stick garage.
he's making a pretty good living off of YouTube, that's for sure. Big
Yeah.
garage and extra trucks. And,
Yeah, he's doing all right, eh?
yeah, not bad. If I had made videos of the stuff I built,
Yeah, but you didn't have a shop like he's got.
man, I'm an idiot.
I do the same as Lettuce King. I have to have my afternoon power nap
Yep,
when the sun goes down.
2 hours at least.
Yeah, he
from
says an
two
hour or
to
two.
4 o'clock, man. It was
Yeah.
shut her down. The old lattice wagon.
Smith has beautiful trucks. Yeah, they do, but they got bought out, eh?
Did they?
Smith did.
Yeah.
By Heartland. I think it was Heartland
Yeah.
Express bought them out.
Yeah.
But yeah, they always had nice trucks.
Funny enough, TMC was one of those. They used to have nice looking stuff, and now they're just kind of went by the
Yeah.
way of the
Okay.
thing.
Wait a second. Oh, Tim Field's got his tankers and doubles and triples endorsement. Congratulations, Tim. Congratulations. Generally anything you do out of the norm makes you a little better money. So
No logs for hauling milk.
really,
Well, that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah,
cows
it's a-
cows don't go to bed really. So
oh man. Anyway, so let me ask you this:
sure.
what was the worst time you ever got lost? Do you remember?
Lost?
Lost. Like you remember before we had
Yep.
the
Well,
GPS?
I never had GPS. That was before.
Yeah,
You know,
so-
I'm old, right?
So what? what was the worst experience you had getting lost?
I was in North Carolina, and I had to go up into Tennessee, and I remember just looking at the old big atlas going, oh, that looks like a good road. And it was up, trying to remember, north of, I think it was Shelby, the name of the place. Anyways, I get up and in there, and the roads are like you're right against the guardrail, and the trailer's like dragging the rocks around the corner, and I ended up on the Blue Ridge Parkway somehow. Up, and there was a bridge there, and then the park guy come along, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't even know how I got here. And I was way up, and then I ended up finally coming out somewhere in Tennessee, got stopped by the DOT, no logbook again, got shut down, waited for him to leave, paid the fine, and away I go. But I was lost in there. Like, it was full on deliverance, guys sitting on their porch playing banjo. That was the worst that I can remember. Yeah.
I think the worst one I ever did was I had a delivery in the Caprini Green in Chicago, inside the loop there.
Yeah.
And I was the only guy there without a gun.
Yeah.
And I went there like 4 or 5 in the morning so I could find the spot.
Yeah.
Before the traffic hit, and I got backed in all right, but I was hanging out over onto the street, as you can imagine. But then they all woke up before I was empty.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get out of there, and I can hear the gunshots going off, but every time I tried to turn back towards I-94, those railway trestles were too low.
And you could only get under. You could get under one side, but not the other side. Yeah.
And I couldn't get.
So you had to go the wrong side of the road.
I went for miles before I even found a road that I could get under both of them.
Remember that place in Chicago we used to go to? Was that Met Display or whatever, where you had to back into their building, but yet your truck was still across the street on the curb across the street. Yeah. That was a beaut.
Oh, and and you want to get there early because then the cars across the street would screw you up, and you didn't even have enough room to swing the hood. Yeah. What a dump that was. I don't know how long they kept that contract, but I remember going there like 5 or 6 times. Anyway.
Yeah, I just once for me. That was enough.
Yeah.
I didn't really get lost that much, though. Really, I wouldn't.
Oh.
Not that much.
I got lost a lot.
I usually was going around Scales and port of entries and shit like that when that happened.
Remember, I think it was.
Just Chinaman is where you're going with this story.
No. It's when you ended up in the Indian reservation.
Oh, that was going around the south on 15, going around the Arizona port.
Yeah.
Yeah, got off at St. George and went up and around and all over, and
Did I ever show you those pictures of Chinamen getting lost in New Mexico?
Yeah, and that's
Oh my God. But yeah. So a friend of ours had worse luck getting lost than either one of us did. He ended up rolling in a truck on a back road in the desert. Just
if you hear banjos, drive faster.
Where are you looking?
The guy says, if I hear banjos, drive faster. That's right.
Fred Besmer, it's amazing how safe we were as a safer driver during COVID and no laws required.
Exactly.
Yeah, good point, Fred. It's sometimes the industry makes no sense. And you know when else they throw them out now, the hours of service, is when the weather is really bad. Like North Dakota gets into an ice storm, but they're out of fuel. So they take the hours of service off. Yeah. So they're forcing the guys out that are tired because they're out of gas.
It's amazing how it works that way when they need something from you, isn't it?
It's crazy.
That's when everybody should go, you know what, go.
Oh, Brianna's got a good question. What's the most confusing distribution center that you've ever been to?
Distribution? Well, no. Jesus. Well, that was, Amazon didn't exist the last time I used to do it. So
back when we were trucking, it was, if there was a distribution center, it was a Walmart.
Anything distribution center, I hated it.
We had generally avoided those like the plague.
I used to hate that. You get like a skid.
Yeah.
And you had to break it down to put 8 on a tier instead of 10 and stupid crap like that.
I remember spending a day in a Walmart distribution center when they first came out.
Just resorting the freight for them.
Yeah, and I went back and I was talking to Gary Mercer, and he had a truck stuck in the Walmart distribution center in St. George for like 3 days. Yeah. And he vowed he'd never go back to a distribution center for them. Here's Nevada Maverick. What's your worst experience with a DOT officer, Lettuce King?
My worst experience with God, I don't know. There's so many of them, but
So many to choose from.
pardon? Yeah, so many to choose from. You know, I've got more where I probably got away with shit that I, sorry, then I got, you know, bent over. You know, I got pulled into the one scale in California down by San Diego. I pulled in there and I thought I'm going to jail because I had a list of stuff. I rolled in there. The guy just did a quick check of my paperwork. Okay, you're good. I was like, good God, get me out of here.
I never really had any serious trouble in California. I got nailed in Mojave for
Yeah.
blowing the scale in the tinted windows.
Yeah.
But that's the only time I ever had.
I had a guy in Texas, Buford T. Justice, I think, came off of the service road on the opposite side of the highway,
Yeah.
through the ditch, over the interstate, through the ditch, turned around and chased me down for tinted windows.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. My worst experience.
So which one was the worst? Well, getting handcuffed to the railing of the scales can
Yeah, that wasn't great, but I mean that really wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
No, I mean
I
I
was used to the handcuffs.
yeah, I can't think of anything that was really, you know, the California Highway Patrol, that old broad that was going to shoot
Yeah.
me once was kind of bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Because you had the wrong date on the logbook.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to get Bert to drive my truck out of the scale once because I blew the scale. I come around the corner there in Milton and put her to the rug, figuring that there's no way they'll take me alive, and they had me by like Winston Churchill. And then when they took me back, and then my license was suspended because I had an unpaid fine. Go figure.
Here's Heavy Haul Nick. I told him about the woman.
Oh,
Yeah, the one. Yeah, I was talking about that on one stream not too long ago. But yeah, I think that would probably be your.
That
worst
was on
story.
that 2-lane between Bakersfield and oh God, what was the name of that place? Over on Highway 1. We used to run across there and then up towards Salinas.
Like Los Banos or
Whatever it was there. So lost somewhere.
Yeah.
And it was a 2-lane road. I was in like 10 cars. We were all doing the same speed. It was 55 mile an hour, and she spun around and pulled me over. And I had just come out of the little rest area making a sandwich. And I'm like, man, you know, we're all doing the same speed. I didn't pull all them over, she says. Stand over, you know. So she's got me standing over at the truck with my logbook on the trunk of her car. And then she says, she's looking at my book, and she goes, well, what's this? So I walk over to see what this
She's
is.
talking about.
I told you to stand at the car.
Wow.
Okay there, Mama Bear, right? Relax. Anyways, there was a lot more to the story.
I remember that. Yeah. Safeway distribution in California, load of garden tools, partial load turned into over 100 pallets. Some pallets only had 2 cartons. Never mind, you had to pay for the lumping, and we got well paid for the lumping. Yeah. Wow.
I heard those Amazon things are just a nightmare.
Really?
Though, eh? Yeah, that's what I've heard. But
we
I sure miss doing that.
We didn't do a lot of distribution centers, thank God.
Oh, favorite truck stop restaurant on the road, Dave?
I like Little America.
Why? Do we have to specify about why they're our favorites?
It doesn't matter to me. Sure, go ahead. Oh,
I know
wait, are you going to say Fontana? Never mind.
Simone's was
Simone's?
Mama Simone.
No, where's that?
It was up off of Cherry Street, and then you turn right down past, like from Trucktown, and then up the side street. It was this little Vietnamese little woman that used to, this little restaurant, and there was truck parking in the back. It was like the trashiest asshole in California.
Oh, I was never
But
in
boy,
there.
we had fun there. Anyways, this little Chinese woman, she'd drive through the parking lot with this pickup truck on the CB radio, like she was security. And she'd be on the radio going, "No monkey business, my place, I find you." It was a hoot. It was great.
Oh,
But anyways,
I was never in there.
It was a good time, man. Oh gosh. Anyways, I liked Walcott.
Yeah, Walcott is pretty tough
yeah.
to beat.
Yeah.
Walcott's I think that's Richard's favorite.
Is it Walcott?
Yeah, he likes the pork chops. That's why he goes.
Yeah.
Do you remember the old Walcott restaurant?
Yes, when it was the old restaurant, when it was just the gas bar.
No, the old. Oh no.
Remember when it was just a gas bar and it had all the stuff hanging from the roof, and it was crazy how much stuff they had jammed into that little shed.
I like the old Bosman's in Grand Island too.
Yep,
before they
Bosman's.
rebuilt
Yeah,
all of that.
was good. Yeah.
What's the worst shipper or receiver you ever went to?
Worst receiver was the meat cold storage joint.
Yeah.
The one in this right in Toronto.
Yeah, that's the old place. Right
Yeah.
off. You could
What
see
the
it
hell
from
was the name of
the
that
Gardner?
cold
Yeah.
storage place? It was
Yeah.
terrible.
There was for a while we both hauled meat, and every once in a while we used to have to go to this cold storage place right in Toronto. Dumpy old white and blue building. I remember that, eh? And that was the worst place, and it's still there.
I want to say Conestoga, but that's not right.
I'm
Confederated.
Not sure. Might have been, yeah, might have been
Cold
Confederated cold storage.
They was
Just a
it
dump.
wasn't good anyway.
I couldn't believe that the government let them store food in that place. It was unreal. And you'd be all friggin' day unloading.
Yeah, by yourself.
By yourself, yeah.
60-pound boxes of meat, hand
Yeah,
bomb.
hand bomb the whole load on and off. Tim Field says, oh, he's talking to Fred, are you sure it wasn't Safeway or a Kroger's?
Any grocery chain is a
I was into a Trader Joe's one time down there, and it was a friggin' nightmare too.
What rig were you driving?
What are you looking at?
This one. What rig was I driving, Lettuce King? I don't know what rig when.
You point with those gloves, and I can't. Oh, what rig were you driving, Lettuce King?
Yeah. When I was lost, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I had my big superliner then.
Really?
Yeah, when I got lost like that. Big superliner, yeah.
That was that long ago?
Yeah.
Hey, okay.
Yep. I love that truck. That thing would roll.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Tell them what the best part of trucking was back in the day. What did you like the best?
Yeah, that's a good question. What
The
was the
best part of trucking
back in the day?
The best part of trucking back in the day was basically the drivers, the mutual just respect,
camaraderie,
and you could go stop, and you didn't have to worry about your parking, like your truck hood being in the next lane. There was, it was, you'd see guys on the interstate, everybody knew everybody, we'd talk to each other on the, didn't matter where you were from. It just, that, to me, that was the best part. And that's, I keep saying I want to go back to it now when I'm my semi-retirement, but what I want to go back to isn't here anymore.
How it was
exactly
then.
Right. I'm afraid to take my truck out of the driveway now.
Demon Gamer, thank you for the donation, sir. Hi from Salt Lake City. Boy, we've spent some time in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Beautiful town.
Yeah.
The only thing that used to freak me out about Salt Lake City was the old highway when you came down to Parley's.
Yep.
It would literally tee. Do you remember
Yep.
before they put the...
Yeah, but I used to go down through Provo all the time.
Yeah,
Remember I used to take that shortcut around?
Yeah.
But I liked running that way, too. That was good.
The DOT would stop guys there, though, when they went through Provo. Did you ever get stopped that way?
No, never.
Because that's how Richard went, but I always went
Tell
like...
a story about you on the salt flats in the fire truck.
Oh, yeah.
I was coming east. Yeah, that's right. Salt Lake City Fire Department. I was coming eastbound with a load of lettuce on, come across the salt flats and blew a turbo about halfway across. And I thought, if I can get to Salt Lake City, and every once in a while this was at night, would all light up orange, and didn't quite figure out what it was until I figured out that it was pumping enough oil in the exhaust that it was lighting the exhaust on fire. The flames had come out of the stacks. And, so somebody, I guess, seen me, called 911. By that time, I'd already pulled over because I figured I was going to be out of oil.
Yeah.
I was sitting on an off-ramp, and all these fire trucks are all heading westbound towards Wendover. I'm sitting on a ramp. So we had to get towed in for that one. That was the C model, 3406C. Bill Stalker's old truck.
Stalker's truck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tell the story about that friend of yours that got raped in the rest area.
By aliens?
No, maybe we'd better skip that story.
How
Les King
about-
needs to hit the Bonneville Salt Flats and break a world record in this.
I've done that.
What?
When I was coming back with the red and white
Yeah.
350 or 377,
Yes.
and some big strapper with a 500 Cummins was very brazen about how awesome of a new motor he had there. And we were coming across Nevada, and I just spanked this guy up, down, all around. But we come down the salt flats, and he had like 336s, and the thing was geared to go, right? My
Yeah.
truck didn't have that.
Yeah.
He went by me, ha, 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 ha. I put that thing about 2,600 RPM, man. I went by him, just blew his doors up. But by the time I got to Salt Lake, it was rapping and rattling, and I run it all the way back into Toronto with it hammering and banging. I'd broken a skirt right off of one of the pistons. It's amazing. Another great testimonial for Caterpillar, because it made it all the way home with a hole in the piston.
Was that the end of that truck?
No, that was when I got it in-framed at Premier after that. All they did was put 6-pack in it, fix the head where it whacked the piston, left the fuel pump and all the injectors, and the thing made like 7 and change at the wheels. And then Hans, the guy there, went, "That's it. You're going to break the dyno." So
Fred Bessemer likes Clear Lake, Minnesota Petro. Have you been in there? It's like a Petro 2. It's not really big.
Clear
but it's-
Lake, Minnesota, yeah.
It's just outside Minneapolis, St. Paul, going
Clearwater.
going west.
do not.
Clearwater.
Is
says
that like
Clear
on?
Lake.
Is that like on the Wisconsin, like towards Wisconsin by the river where there used to be
No,
some
like when you get up, when you're going west of Minneapolis, St.
west
Paul,
of Minneapolis? Yeah.
and you're headed towards Fargo.
Oh, it's out there.
It's just outside of Minneapolis,
Nah,
St. Paul, and
never
it's just
been
a
there.
little place on the north. Do you know where Cat is out there in Clear Lake?
Man, it's been a
It's
while
like
since
the
I've been
next
out there.
exit down from Cat.
I used to run there a long time ago when I worked for IT out
Well,
of Rochester.
it-
But
The pinned comment is the worst food. Tell them about the flaming hoop dance.
the
Anyway,
flaming
Fred,
hoop
yeah,
dance.
I love that. I love that. That Petro, that
What's the
little Petro. Great
highlighted?
restaurant, great bakery.
Pinned comment.
The- what was the
What was
worst?
the worst roadside food?
Oh.
From the wagon in Salinas.
Well, well, there was a lot of bad. When you said flaming hoop dance, I was thinking about something totally different there. But yeah, any of the food truck stuff from California was really hard on the parts.
We used to get stuck in coolers, like produce coolers, sometimes for hours.
Yeah.
And all they would send was these little food trucks in there.
Unless
I
we're
would-
in Salinas. Remember the pizza man?
Well, the pizza man. I relied on the pizza
Yeah.
man in Salinas.
Pizza man, pizza.
But some of those food trucks, you were better just to starve to death.
Yep.
Oh, the TA in Binghamton, New York. There's a place I haven't been for years.
Ooh, Binghamton, New
Has
York.
a small shopping center behind it. There's a place called Beer Thirsty, best chicken wings in the country. Huh, I haven't been down that way in years and years and years, but I remember that truck stop in Binghamton. Everybody stopped there.
Country
back then.
Bob's.
Yeah, Country Bob's. Yeah.
All the fat girls you can take for $5. Oops.
Brianna wants to know the hardest back you ever had to do with your semi.
The hardest back?
Like the tightest spot to back into that you were ever at.
Cold meat inspection on Mac Avenue in Detroit.
What a hole that was.
The end door.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
meat inspection place in Detroit that you had to go to if you were bringing meat in from Canada. You had to go to this. What do they call those places? But
FDA.
yeah, an FDA inspection station. It was off Mac Ave in
Yeah.
Detroit. We both been in there. It was a dump. It was. I was there with Chinaman and the Red Pete one time.
Yep.
What a feat to get
Yeah.
that thing in there.
Yeah.
What a feat. And there were two of us.
Yeah.
So one had to guard the truck.
Yeah.
Well, the other guy had to watch the meat inspector because you couldn't. It was in the middle of the ghetto in Detroit.
Yeah.
You couldn't leave your truck. Someone would break into it.
When I sold my V8 truck to Silvo, and that was 336 wheelbase, he had to go there with that truck
Oh God.
and the reefer. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big door.
That whole place was a
Yep.
scam unto itself. That place.
Joplin, back to that, was you could park, walk across the street to
Yeah,
the chrome shop. But I always came up that way because I always went around the Joplin scale. So that's was kind of.
Is that where you came
That's where I
out?
always just came out. I figured I'd come out right under their nose and they don't
Where did you...
get off.
Yeah.
Back in Oklahoma, I forget the exit. I had this way around, and I got a way around everything. But
What was... Do you remember where we used to get off on 69 if we were going south into Texas? We'd get off what they called 69 and we threw down that way.
oh yeah, when you're coming at like Big Cabin down that
Yeah,
way.
Big Cabin.
Yeah, yeah.
Could you have... I always wondered... I always thought about trying off 69 to find the road to get around Joplin. Richard got caught trying that.
Oh yeah.
So I never did figure it out. I don't know if
I
he
got
did or
stopped
not.
by a local yokel coming. I was coming down 35 once, and to go around the scale there, and decided to go across there. And guy stopped me, asked me what I was doing. Told him I was going to my grandma's house or something stupid like that.
Richard got stopped by a country guy,
Yeah.
and that was a part of Missouri where they had rice paddies. They have where they grow rice down there. I didn't even know it was
Oh,
there. So the guy pulls Richard over. He says, "What are you doing back here, son?" And Richard says, "Well, I'm an old farm boy, and I always kind of curious about how they grew the rice. I just didn't understand it." And he wanted to see it for himself. And the trooper says, "Well, I'm an old farm boy too, and I can appreciate, your interest." And they had a big chat, and he just let Richard go.
Wow.
So here's a guy with a 312-inch wheelbase, Pete, and a big fancy stainless trailer, looking at the rice paddies behind the Joplin scales, and talks his way out of it. I thought that was pretty admirable. George Howard, friend got a ticket for 100 miles an hour.
I've got a couple of those.
A couple of those for over 100?
Yeah, I got one in Utah on 15 once,
Oh, yeah?
south of there. And I got one in Ohio once for faster than that. But that was
You got caught for doing over 100 in Ohio?
in Ohio. Yeah, guy let me go. So
The guy let you go?
The backstory to that was, you were talking about that there a little while ago. So I was in the hospital in Beaumont, Texas.
Okay.
I'd like literally passed out in the TA or in the Petro, and I had kidney stones.
Oh, I remember this, yeah.
So they filled me full of drugs, and they said, "Go on home, and if it comes back, come on back."
Yeah.
So I get in the truck and I just put her in the wind, and I got to about Cincinnati, and it started to get really bad. And man, I just laid her out. And when the guy stopped me, and basically I'm like, man, I'm gonna die if I don't soon, So he basically let me go. He said, well, just be cool. And then I got to the border. I stopped at customs. I didn't take my paperwork in, nothing. I went right through customs. And Future was pissed because I didn't clear the load or nothing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
parked the truck at the hospital, and I was in there for like a week, remember? And then we turned around. And I
Yes.
think that was where we both ran out to somewhere in North Dakota or something like that on the way back out after that all happened.
Weren't we going, what's the name of that? Oregon. Didn't we go to Oregon?
Klamath Falls
Klamath
or something
Falls.
like that?
Isn't that when we went to
Yeah,
Klamath
it could have
Falls?
been.
Was
I
after
remember we
that?
were
Yeah.
together anyways.
Ugh.
But that was the story with that one. I couldn't believe the guy let me go. I guess he figured he didn't want the paperwork and
You
me
know-
dying with him because,
Yeah, in Ohio.
I was probably white and
Yeah. You thought you were going to die on
it
him,
was
maybe.
bad.
Jeez, Ohio. Oh, here. Thomas Fawcett. Next month will make 8 years since Dad passed. He drove for 35 years. Listening to these stories are making me tear up thinking of Dad and his stories. You guys mean the world to me, Thomas. Thanks, man. It's we appreciate hearing that, but it's great to know what trucking was like back then, man. We had a hoot.
Yeah.
We made money in spite of ourselves because everything paid a lot better. The fuel was cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a whole better time, and we both miss it. Richard was telling me now that all of the truck stops are just like fast food.
Yeah,
There's no-
that's another reason I wouldn't do it.
Effingham. He said the restaurant in Effingham is closed.
Yeah, it's a what's that stupid pancake place?
Yeah.
At the Petro.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Not
I know.
the same.
I stopped and sat at the Truckomat, which is now a Blue
Not-
Beacon.
Not the same. Johnny Quest. There's a cool handle. I used to watch. You ever watch
That's
Johnny?
a porn star, isn't he?
No.
Oh,
it's not.
sorry.
It was a cartoon thing back years ago. DOT officer, let me use his creeper to tighten up my brakes in San Luis Obispo.
Obispo. Oh yeah, yeah.
That might have been even the town you were trying to think of.
Yeah.
that
No,
we
wasn't
were-
that San Luis Obispo where we used to come back out to 5? We were coming out of Salinas.
No, that was. Oh,
Or was
you
that
got me
Santanella?
wondering now. It was Santanella.
Maybe it was Santa. Fuck, it's been way too long since we've been out there.
South. Yeah, it's been years. But San Luis Obispo was south of
Of
that.
Salinas?
I think so. Yeah.
I think I have to get my map
I gotta.
right now.
We gotta look at it. Yeah, we used to troop all through that area.
Yeah, used to know it like the back of our hands.
Yeah.
No, I know where it is. I just can't think of the names of the place.
Yeah. But I used to go into Los Banos, and if I was going north, there was a scale just north of there. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And I would find out on the CB radio what the scale was doing, and if they were closed, I'd go, and if they were open, I'd go to bed in Los Banos, and usually by the time I got up, they were closed.
Let's try to think of that.
There was a Denny's there in Los Banos. I used to park behind the Denny's.
You could tell the hokey pokey story.
Which one?
The hokey pokey story.
At Future, where you hop through the window?
Oh, that yeah. That one's been told too many times.
Yeah.
In all fairness, Dean was a great guy.
If you guys hadn't picked trucking when you guys started, what other profession would you have picked? Well, Lettuce King would have been a pole dancer, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
pole
still
dancer?
am.
Are you? Oh, do you?
It was part time.
Part time?
Part time, yeah. Yeah, I do candygrams on the side too.
That's just painting an ugly mental picture for me. Sparklegrams.
Sparklegrams, I could do that. Yeah, yeah.
That's a really good question, and I have no idea. I probably should have got a more sensible job, like working for the hydro or something like that. But no, I couldn't do that. I wanted to drive a truck. I should have gone to work for the hydro up here. Thomas Fawcett says Effingham still has Chaser's Bar and Grill next door.
Oh yeah,
And they
and
still have
right
pork
beside the
trucking and a damn
Petro.
good steak.
Yep, that's
What a-
right.
Oh, I know where it means.
Right in front there.
Yeah.
That's about one of the few places you can park without losing your hood.
Dave, do you love Heartland Express? I don't love them, but I respect them as a carrier. Whoever runs that operation is pretty sharp. I don't know what they're like to work for. I haven't even known any drivers from Heartland. What do you?
What about the lot lizard that was actually a dude? It's funny, we were just talking about that.
Well, you might as well tell them the story. This was pathetic.
It was really sad. And the worst of it is it was in
Rawlins,
Rawlins, Wyoming, of all places.
Just up the street from the prison.
Oh my God. Yeah, and it was late. It was like the middle of the night. Me and Dave roll off the interstate, and we're just bagged. Comes in and radio voice comes over the radio. You know, hey, Big Pete or something like that. I forget what they said, and I don't even remember what the conversation was, but it was along the lines of, hey, do you want to meet up or something
Well, they
like
needed
that.
a place to sleep for the night.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just remember circling on the back row, and then I just said to Dave, holy shit, it's a dude.
So he parks in the back row and he says, "Yeah, you can sleep in my truck," thinking it was a girl, and it was a guy all dressed up like a girl. And I was parked a few trucks over, and I was laughing until I cried.
God.
But you didn't. There was none of this,
In
no
Rawlins.
stuff like that back then. Eh? It was like seeing a Martian. It was as rare as hen's teeth.
God.
But this guy had been down at the prison down the road, visiting somebody he knew. I guess he told.
man.
Oh, scary.
That was a commercial
I was-
buffalo. Come on back.
I was about sick laughing.
Oh, that was a funny deal.
Oh. Lettuce King should watch for FSC trucking and help BK.
Is that guy with the Scania again?
No, that's his name
Yes.
is Brian.
FSC trucking? That's right, that BK Brian something.
Yeah. Little trucker bear. Who's BK?
Me. Maintain his truck.
Help him back up. Watch FFC. Oh, I know what he's talking about. Have you seen that FSC guy with the cab over?
No.
No, I know who he's talking about. I don't know. I don't really watch that. I just happened to notice who that guy was because he had a cab over.
Oh, yeah?
But I don't watch his stuff. In fact, God, I'm trying to think of who. I don't really watch anybody. You?
Not specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch some stuff, but
Like I've seen Twin Stick Garage.
yeah.
And I've seen Edison Motors stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like I know who some of these guys are, like Bruce Wilson. I know who that is because I've come across their video. But
He said, I see some of the stuff, like you watch like Fitzgerald stuff, the semi-casual, but then they're just bolting shit
Yeah.
on the same new trucks. And
yeah,
nobody builds anything old.
yeah. I should branch out into what there, little trucker bear.
362.
I'm a fairly untalented fellow, so I need some sort of direction if I was going to branch out. Tim Field wants to know if that she sat on your battery box all night.
No, I think I just kept right on driving right past them. That was kind of like the fat chick in the Chevette on 79.
No, I don't know that story.
Oh my gosh. I was northbound in 79 one night.
Yeah.
And you know what that road used to be like? How it was quiet.
Yeah.
And same deal. This girl come up or talking to me on the radio in the middle of the night. So I was like, sure, talk away. And she's like, man, look out your driver's window. And this yellow Chevette comes rolling up beside me. And there's like a whole lot of woman in some skinky little thing in the front seat. She goes, you like that? And I was like, wow. I don't know what to say about that one.
You're going to make me lose my child.
Oh, boy.
I just saw Dan Sharp. Merry Christmas from the boys in Western PA. Sorry I'm late, busy with the family. Just saw the notification about the live. Hey, man, we're glad you could join us. Merry Christmas, Dan, to you and your family. Thank you again for joining us. Trucking Resources is a great channel about old companies using defunct. What's that word?
I
don't know either. That rings a bell though.
Chinese.
Trucking Resources.
Never heard of them.
That rings a bell. Tim Field. Well, look at. Hey, Dave and the Lettuce King. You should make a video on how LTL freight stinks, part 2.
The problem is nothing pays anything other than LTL. I used to hate doing it, especially we did it all around LA before GPSs. We'd have our little box of maps and stuff. That was when it was hard.
Yeah. I did this ugly load of LTL around the Bay Area. Oh, God. Got lost. I ended up in the bus terminal. Went up a ramp thinking I was getting onto the interstate, and I ended up in the bus terminal. Had to blindside out of there.
Yeah, I can top that.
Yeah, I know. Yes, you could. Hey, there's Muppets.
Oh.
Muppets out of Australia.
Hey,
Muppet, thanks for joining us, man.
yes,
Dave, did you like Consolidated Freightways? You know what, Little Bear? Back in the day, that was a pretty good job to have. Those guys were all unionized. You remember?
Yep, cornflakes.
Yeah,
with the triples and doubles.
Yeah.
And they were great in the median.
Yeah, they went bankrupt eventually, but they were. Boy, that was a good job to have back in the day.
I'm getting a show truck.
The Bloody
bill.
Dead. Hey, man, thanks for the contribution. I'm getting a show truck built. Shall still be working, but looking amazing going down the road. I was curious if you wanted to see it when it's done. Absolutely.
Sure.
Want to see
Let's see it.
What kind of tell us about the truck, man. What kind of a truck is it? And give us the details. Give us the specs. We're interested in anything like that. Stab says, sometimes I wonder how you remember some of this stuff. It's
Very vaguely.
and some of it's been so funny you just can't forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, but I can remember some of the
Yeah.
stunts that happened.
Just like as soon as you said about San Francisco, there's only one thing I ever remember about San Francisco.
I'm surprised Lettuce King doesn't rebuild more Pete's. Wait, more Pete's. Crazy money for the refurbished Pete's nowadays. You see that in 2024, 389 at auctions, $350K.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's unreal, eh?
Yeah. I'm just too old and worn out to do it anymore.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
when you're doing it in your driveway with no real, if I had a shop with a forklift and this and that. I mean, I did my truck. I was fortunate that the company I worked for, I had a boom truck, so I could bring the boom truck home for lifting parts and stuff. But still, that was 3 years to basically put.
But
that
all
together.
out of doors too.
Outside, yeah.
Outside.
So I mean, it's just
Gerald, Dave and the Lettuce King, what's your favorite, truckload or LTL? I like truckload.
Yeah, I'd rather do truckload all day.
But we kind of had to switch. I don't know when that was. When we had to start doing LTL.
Yeah.
Because the truckload rate went through the
Yeah.
floor, and a lot of us. We started off with we do like a truckload and put a skid or two on the back to bump up the revenue. But even then, after a while, it didn't pay enough. We ended up having to do 5 and 6 droppers and.
When it really changed for me is I used to like it, like say at the Future deal, where you have the I've got a load here, and you could pick Texas, Seattle,
Florida,
wherever. And then companies started to develop lanes and specialize in lanes. So unless you wanted to run Florida nonstop or here nonstop, and that's kind of the way it is now. I don't want to go to the same place every week, in and out and in and out. Some people like that. Me, no. I like the
variety.
The variety, yeah.
Yeah. I was pretty happy if I could just do steady California, Arizona.
Yeah.
Like generally you'd get different destinations all the
True.
time.
But even that
was good for me. I like that lane. But
I like the Pacific Northwest. I like going
the Pacific
up there.
Northwest.
And and then if you got bored doing that, you could go to Florida and you could go here and there. But now it's almost impossible to do that kind of crap.
Yeah. It got hard to make money out of the Pacific Northwest, because everything was box rate except for cherries.
Right.
And you'd wait for the cherries; they'd be in season about 15 hours.
And heavy as hell.
And then you'd miss the good money. Drove me nuts. Oh, here's bloody. It's got a 60 series Detroit in it.
Replacing it with 34.6.
Replacing it with a
Good
30,
choice.
Good move. Good move.
I mean, some people like the 60 series.
They've been a reliable engine for the most part. But
I mean, that one you had was the biggest piece of dog crap, too.
Did you drive that truck?
I bet you I changed 100 alternators on it.
Huh. I think that's the only one I ever had.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's was steady. I had a spare in the truck all the time, if you remember. Because you couldn't keep an alternator on it because the front of the motor was out of whack so bad. Something was...
I do remember that. Dottie's Restaurant in Cuba, Missouri. TA bought the
Cuba.
truck stop.
Yeah, that was a great place.
But Dottie's open. Still awesome food. Thomas Fawcett.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that
Yeah,
place?
I do.
It was good.
I do.
Man.
Yeah.
If I was going, I usually go that way. If I was going to Texas, I'd go down through that way.
Well, I went the bottom all the time. You like going across 80. I hated that. I used to always go down 44 and out the bottom, remember?
Yeah.
It was a little harder to get around all
How do you stay healthy living in a truck? That's a darn good question, and something either one of us never really mastered.
Yeah, tell us, Dave. You're a specimen of health.
Fat out of shape old truck driver. You following close behind me here?
Well, if I haven't had time to go to the gym every day lately, I've been busy.
It's tough. I think the biggest secret is you've got to watch what you eat and take. I didn't say I watched what I eat. My wife's laughing her head off over there. And I'm the wrong person to be giving this advice, but you've got to get exercise, some form of exercise every day. All I ever did was walk around the big truck stops.
Do as I say, not as I do.
But yeah, do as I say, not as I do. But yeah, I'm the wrong guy to be giving that advice. I'm in better shape now that I've quit trucking.
The best time from Toronto to California.
Oh, he's look at
what?
He wore a cape and stood on the hood like the. Do you remember
Very
doing
similar.
that?
Yeah.
Do you remember
That's
doing
true.
that?
How does he know that?
I must have told it one of the
Maybe.
stories. But
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
We were down. Do you remember going?
That was at Bosman's, wasn't it?
No, we went to Disneyland in Anaheim.
Yeah.
And I think you did it down there to make
Oh, did I?
Lindsay laugh. Yeah, and you had this pink T-shirt or shorts and green shorts and and a pink muscle shirt on and some sort of a goofy hat.
Tall hat.
What was that hat? Dr. Zeus, a Dr. Zeus hat, and a towel tied behind him like a cape.
It's not like me to have a outfit like that.
No, he's trying to make my daughter laugh. He
What's
sure
that,
made
Kathy?
us.
The best time?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the best time from Toronto to California, we did that straight through load of envelopes. I think it was like 32 hours or something. I stopped for fuel 3 times and hot dogs at Rip Griffin's, and then I slept for like a week when I got to LA.
I don't remember that one.
It was straight through. I was just a bag of ass when I got there.
Oh, I bet. I don't think I ever ran straight through.
Straight through.
Not from the coast. I don't
Well,
think
I was with Ricky and Picker,
Oh well.
so that'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you can
Enough
probably
said.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey brother, I drive in the Pacific Northwest Line Haul Company. Been an easy career for the last 3 years. Yeah, it's nice up there. I like the Pacific Northwest. I got nailed on cabbage for not chaining up one time.
Is that right?
In fact, and I got nailed in Oregon for blowing a scale.
Do the super chat. There's 2 of them.
Gotta find
There
it.
was a truck
Oh,
stop
here's
on
one.
the south end, and I stole their menu because they had the coolest picture on the front. It was a Pacific Diner, and I still have it framed and hung up at home. And it was like a Peterbilt 359 with the guy leaning out the window giving you the big thumb up, and a guy in front in like a 33 3-window coupe
Oh, cool.
right from the front. And I still have that to this day. It was one of the coolest places. I think it was the Evergreen truck stop.
Bloody Dead. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate that. 1999 Kenworth W900i, 86-inch studio sleeper, best factory sleeper there is. Giving it a 315. Oh, this is the truck he's working on. 315 wheelbase.
Yeah.
And lighting it up like a crisp. Man, that's going to be a nice truck.
At least if it's a 99, it's a flat glass, right?
Yeah, it's a flat glass. Yeah, that'd be.
Round windshields are for float bowls or fish bowls,
Yeah.
float bowls.
Do Adam Bennett.
But that was. And
Adam
Tim,
Bennett.
thank you, Tim. I know everything about the Lettuce King. Donation from Tim Field. Thank you.
You missed Adam Bennett.
Oh, and Adam, thank you.
Merry-
Thank you for
Merry
the
Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and yours, Adam. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. Merry Christmas to your family as well. Appreciate it. Man. Heck yeah, 1999 Kenworth KW 900 studio sleeper. That's like probably one of the first years you could get a studio with, eh? Or could you even
99?
get that in 99?
I don't even think in 99 because 99 was the first year of the extended hood.
The new extended hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think there
Maybe
was a
even the
studio then.
I can't remember.
So
What year is Stalkers? Was Stalkers? I think it was
would
a
have been
2000.
after that
Yeah.
for sure. Have you ever driven a Marmon?
I never have. You?
Me neither.
Driven an auto car? Have you driven an auto car?
Yeah.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah. Yes, we were right there.
No, we never. No. Tim Field, it's time for a nap. What's the coolest truck you ever saw back in the day?
Ooh,
You know what? I got to tell you this.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw Chinaman's Freightliner, the big blue one with the horse.
with the feet on backwards.
No, that was
Oh.
the Pete.
Okay.
The dark blue with
The
the,
blue
big sleeper.
and the side pipes and the wire
Yeah,
wheels. That was
I,
it.
I remember that was the first really cool custom truck I think
The
I ever
coolest
saw
one
when he built that.
for me
Yeah.
was Noble and Pitts,
Oh, I know which one.
the black 359.
Yeah, with the huge
With the
flat
big
top
flat top sleeper
and the wings.
V8. and
Yeah,
everything on
that
it.
was a nice
That
truck.
was that when I first seen that I went,
Yeah.
that's a
I'm
bad.
impressed you could remember that was Noble and Pitts.
I'm remembering. I can remember yesterday. I'm impressed, let alone back then.
Yeah, I know.
But see, that was a big ride. You know, the other one is for sale right now. That bluish gray colored one, the 379
Yeah.
with the KTA. That's on sale on
Oh.
some Peterbilt site. I seen it the other day for
Oh, is
60
it?
grand. The guy's been trying to sell it for a while.
Really?
I think he inherited it or something.
So that's that. We had a friend we had a friend up here that had an old style, like an FLC Freightliner. Is that what they call those? An FLC Freightliner that put a 96-inch bunk on it back in
81.
Yeah,
Or,
like
you know.
back in '81, and I remember seeing this thing for the first time after he put it together, and he had a mural of Pegasus, the winged horse, on the side of the bunk, done in kind of a light white, and oh my God, I looked at that truck, I couldn't believe how beautiful it was.
He was one of the first.
He was the
kind of
first
big bunk
first
truck,
guy I knew with a big bunk
Yeah.
truck,
And then
and it was beautiful.
what's his nuts from Harrow did the one,
Oh yeah, I've got pictures
Right.
of his.
Yeah.
Still.
and Len
And Len, yeah.
buried it before I had the banana truck before it was a
Yeah.
banana truck.
The best time you ever made from Cali to Toronto? I did it in like 62 hours or something like that one time.
Were you sleeping?
I must have been.
Yeah, like I said, I think it was like mine was like 32 or 36. It was like
Really?
straight through,
How
It-
fast were you going?
fast.
I bet you were going
But
fast.
but it was one of your loads, and it was those envelopes that they paid us
I know the one.
stupid money to be there.
Yeah.
And it was literally, only time I got out of the truck, fueled it, bought hot dogs and shit
go.
and some Mountain Dew, and away we trucked.
Yeah.
But when I got down there, I slept for a week.
Yeah.
The downside of it was,
I remember getting up in Morris, Illinois in the morning and delivering in Las Vegas the next morning.
yeah, that's a trucking too.
But
I think about how, even the schedule we used to, to coming back. Thinking,
Yeah.
man, I can't drive to work without falling asleep in the morning anymore. 1,000 miles a day.
We used to, it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, usually by the time we got loaded in Salinas. So it was so late I wouldn't even take off, out of Salinas. I'd just sleep at the cooler.
We used to
till-
always have to. We'd have to
till
get out to Reno the first,
Well, I'd try to get
You
out
know.
to,
and then wake up at Reno and go from Reno to like Des Moines,
well, I used to, yeah.
and then the next day from Des Moines in.
Yeah. It was
Third
off.
morning, right?
Yeah, third morning.
It was a bitch.
Jeez. Yeah. I couldn't do that now if my life depended on it. Oh, here.
Sunroof.
Bloody Dead. Thank you again, sir. It's got a sunroof through. I came from Sandusky, Ohio. If you know about the truck sales there, I know about. Yeah, there is that place in Sandusky. I see them on advertising sometimes. $80K for it he paid. He says, unfortunately, it's not a flat glass.
Oh, in '99.
It's got a 13-speed standard. Going to make it an 18-speed with a.
Huh.
Huh.
I didn't think that was possible.
I didn't
but
either.
it's a Kenworth, and I really wouldn't say I'm a Kenworth expert.
You know they.
But I thought '99 was the first year of the extended hood, and I didn't
Yeah,
think
the
they
new-
had the Aero Cab fishbowl windows for '99.
Now he's got me wondering now.
I-
I bought. You remember my blue one was the first of the new hood long hoods.
Yeah, that was a
But-
'93, right?
Yeah, '93.
Yeah.
But when you looked at that truck in profile, the hood kind of sloped down.
Yeah.
Instead of sticking straight out.
You know what,
It
Nate? You
drove me
might
nuts.
be right now because just the '93.
That was
He's
a
a '99. Maybe it was '89.
Oh,
was the
what?
first.
We got our year. See, there's
God
10
damn
year
it,
difference.
world.
Yeah.
Dave.
Alzheimer's. Tim Field, my dad used to fly fighters. He hopped onto one of the channels, got a hold of a trucker, and told him to look out your passenger window and buzzed him.
I had a guy do that to me up in South Dakota, and I was just like zoned out. I going westbound, and out, towards Sturgis there.
Yeah.
And a guy blew my doors off. Like I was just looking out the window.
in the jet.
Yeah, that actually happened to me.
It's unreal.
Yeah,
Some
that
of
was
the things
before
that
I was
ma-
abducted by aliens, by the way.
Speaking of Morris, Illinois, our place was closed
Morris,
during
Illinois.
COVID.
Yeah.
They opened back up and are still great. But somebody told me, Thomas, that they have limited hours. They're not open the same hours like they used to be. But yeah, That was a great.
It was a
restaurant.
Rip Griffin's there, wasn't it? That we '89 had the James Bond 007. That's the one I was thinking. '89.
That's what
Yep.
we're thinking. Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Stubbs.
This-
And he's in Finland, and he can tell
There
us
you
more
go.
about the trucks than we know.
He's obviously smarter
He's
than
smarter
we are.
than we are.
Took me 20 minutes to figure that one out.
I'd still be
Strangest
wandering
thing you ever hauled.
around. I can tell you that Atlantis' claim to fame was they hauled a whale. Remember?
A whale.
A whale.
Ingrid?
No, God, no. Jesus, wait.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I had a motorbike speed past me the other day, frightened the life out of me. Muppet. Yeah, that's happened to me. Oh, hey, it's Johnny Quest again. Have you guys ever made it to the 80 Jamboree and Truck Show? He's talking Walcott.
Yep.
Many times.
Been there.
Many times.
That's where I told the Detroit rep that their motor
Yes.
was junk.
Yes. Tell him that story.
I had the purple Kenworth
Yep.
at that truck show just because I was going by.
Yep.
And I was telling some passerby about what a piece of junk crap that motor was. And one of the Detroit, God, I can't remember his name. Anyways, rep came to me afterwards and said, so what's your problem with this? You know, I told him. And anyways, they ended up sending a new ECM to Delaney and Elf in Bakersfield. And they put a new ECM on it for free. Wasn't any better, but, you know, that was the story there anyways.
No, I thought it was a little better.
No.
No,
Not to me it wasn't, but you know, I think your story of running team back with Lumbers was the best one.
Oh, I forgot about that idiot.
Go ahead, tell him. You got to say that story now.
Really?
Yeah, tell him. You know, he doesn't even want to tell the story.
I was teaming back out of California with a load of produce on that was already late. And,
Why was it late though?
Well, it's because Lumbers was sleeping when he was supposed to be driving. So,
And you switched out, right?
well,
Didn't you come out to meet him? You were-
Yeah, that's true.
So
Like,
he was.
I went out with Mike Davison.
That's right, to pick him up.
Yeah, to pick
That's
him up.
what makes
'cause
the
he was-
story even better because he was already late.
So he was already late.
Oh.
Another friend of ours ran us out to Wyoming. I got into the truck with this guy Lumbers in Wyoming and trying to make time. So I run from Wyoming straight through into,
In Nebraska somewhere, right?
yeah, into Nebraska, and we switched off there. So then Lumbers actually finally gets behind the wheel and gets pulled over for speeding. So I'm awake by this time because the cops have got us on the side outside of Omaha. And the cop comes up to the door and he says, "Your buddy's going to jail." I said, "What for?" He says, "Well, he's got a warrant for his arrest out from Oregon or Washington
Something
State."
like
He says, "And we're just taking him to the can." So he says, "Do you want to wait and bail him out?" I said, "Hell no, I got to go." And I took off, left him there in the back of the cop car. He wasn't a favorite guy of mine anyway. Wasn't a friend. And you came along after. Weren't you behind me?
Yeah, like 2 days. He calls me that you'd left him in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah. I was ticked off at that guy. So I just left him there. I didn't care how he got home. I didn't care if he ever got home, but the Lettuce King picked him up and took him the rest of the way home.
God, I still remember that him calling me. Oh boy,
Bloody Dead says he's going to show us before and after pics.
Beautiful.
I can't
Send
wait
'em.
to show you guys calling her Queen Sinon. It's an anime thing. You can probably Google it if you like. I'll try that. All right. Thank you for the donation, by the way. Appreciate that. I'm looking forward to seeing the pictures of the truck. Anything like that, man, we're right into that. Oh, here's Fred. Strangest thing we hauled was dinosaur bones for a museum out of LA to Ontario. Wow, that's pretty strange. Fred, you'd know Atlantis Transportation, the air freight guys. Their claim to fame was they hauled a live whale in a tank that was inserted inside the trailer. Like I didn't see it or anything like that, but that was what they claimed, and that was the strangest load I'd ever heard of.
The best thing you ever hauled at Atlantis was air.
Yeah, we used to run around empty a lot there. I liked it. Bloody Dead, man, thank you again. You're just killing it here. Am I saying this right? Sinan is from an anime called Sword Art Online 2. She's a sniper in an online game, a sniper in a long hood truck. I think it fits for that reason. Oh, I get it. We're going to have to check that out. Oh, I had no idea. Oh, that's pretty cool. Here's
giraffe?
Christopher saw a giraffe inside a bull rack once.
That's different.
Just would they have to cut the roof out of it or take out the top deck?
Teach a giraffe to kneel?
I bet you that was weird. Christopher, ever hauled bees? No. No, I never have. You?
No.
I hear it's an adventure, but no. No, I've never done it. Neither one of us have done it. The only place I've ever worked where an 18 speed was necessary was Central West Virginia oil patch. Yeah, and I guess it's pretty rough terrain through there, and you'd want all the gears, especially if you're pulling big weight.
I always use them all.
Dave, do you ever take your Peterbilt to the truck shows or parades or anything? I never have taken it to any of the truck shows because I never had time to keep it pristine. That truck worked all its life. I actually offered our town here if they asked me to put it in the Santa Claus parade one year so the kids could see it. And I said, oh yeah, I guess I could do that. And then they said, well, the entrance fee was $25 and they were going to make me pay the $25 to put my truck in to help them out. So I never went in the parade either. I couldn't believe they were asking me for money. But no, I never put it in anything like that. It was always just a working truck. It's got a few little paint chips here and there, like underneath the headlights and stuff. It was never, and I didn't get out to California often enough to get it all polished up all the time, especially in the winter time. So it wasn't really a show truck. It was a good working truck. Oh, here's Bloody Dead. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Pronounced Sinon. Man, you don't have to apologize. It's us that are having the language troubles. But no, okay. Well, thank you for that, and cool. Now we know how to pronounce it.
See, he's a giraffe hauler.
So who's a giraffe hauler?
The guy right above there. So he'd know how to make them kneel.
Dude loves 86 hauls giraffes. Well, we got some questions about that. The Lettuce King wants to know if they have to kneel in the trailer or you cut a hole in the roof.
Do you get him to duck when you go under bridges?
Yeah, train him to duck so he didn't whack his head. Oh Lord, what other intellectual type questions should I be asking you about your trucking career?
Well, you're screwed now.
Something intellectual.
Intellectual.
Story, and then you have to then let the audience guess if it's true or false. They get the vote.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Trucker story. True or false trucker story.
True or false trucker story.
Are you telling me one?
No, you're telling me about what?
Tell the audience one story.
Okay.
They'll vote.
Okay. We're gonna tell a trucker story, and it's up to you guys to vote whether you think it's true or false. And the story is about the rest area, and So you want to tell that? Yeah.
We had this particular guy that we knew. We'll call him Super Trucker. No.
Tramp. We'll call him Tramp. No, we won't call him that.
Okay. And he was in a rest area on 99, and he was abducted by aliens with a TV remote control. Go ahead.
That's not exactly how I was going to tell it because it's kind of a giveaway. So I'm gonna vote that it's false.
But wait, it's doable.
Okay.
They took him back to their planet to repopulate the planet because they needed the biggest stud muffin that. Come on, you're giving it away.
I'm giving it away.
The planet of.
This will be good. What planet is this?
I almost said it. The planet of Tramp.
So how do we do the survey here? Is this story true or false? Yes or no? Is it true?
Vote, give them time to vote.
All right, but how do you vote? Yes or no? Or
I think you
when
just
it's
click
true
on
or,
it.
True or false? But
Story truer.
Tell about
Is
the
it-
guy
So true
bought his twin.
we got a.
is yes, false is no.
Okay.
Let them vote.
Okay. We'll give you some time to vote. In the meantime, Fred wants to know about my 379. No, Fred, I've still got it. I've got it all put away for the winter. But
Bought his twin.
I still enjoy
Oh.
driving it, Fred. What?
Thomas Fawcett. Tell about the time the guy brought the twin stick by my house.
Yeah. Tell that story.
This guy rolled up with this Kenworth haul with a bull rack on it, and he had stopped to visit the person who was living upstairs renting my house, and thought that they'd say, "Hey, check out my twin stick Kenworth here." I'm like, well, I opened the door and he's got two sticks in there. He's all proud of this two-stick truck. Oh yeah, kind of looked underneath there, and there was only one box underneath that twin stick truck. So I had to inform him that he was kind of full of shh.
Yeah, it was just one of those
Fake ass two-stick things that you buy at Joplin. That,
Yeah, job.
I don't know why. Why do they do that?
I never did figure it out.
You know, like,
I
if-
guess it's so
if-
they feel like big strappers.
If
They're a
you
big strapper.
want to go through the aggravation of having a twin-stick truck,
and it is aggravating.
you should have the full experience.
Yeah, like a real one.
Yeah.
A real set.
Because, I mean, basically having that and not doing it.
I know. Makes no sense to me. It's kind of a goofy
Yeah, I was going to say something I'd probably offend people.
goofy fad, but
Yeah.
I don't see the appeal of that. But
No, it's just
look
extra.
at what Fred said.
Oh. No.
Ooh, ooh.
Oh,
I forgot that Fred's a little too close to home
yeah.
here.
Yes. His name was Rico Suarve, not Tramp.
Here's the poll.
How's the
You're
poll
right,
going?
Fred. Where's the poll?
Oh, you passed it. Go
Did I?
this way, right there.
Oh,
This story is true or false?
52% say it's not true, and 47% say it is.
Man, I'm
Majority rules.
The majority, so the minority rules. So
see.
I get a kick out of Fred.
Well, tell them the story. Tell them it's true or false.
Oh,
It's kind of true.
Totally true.
It's kind of true. Well,
Yeah.
the part about we
Well,
might have
you
made
know,
up the part about the TV remote and the
We can
aliens
only
part.
go by what we were told. Because we were told that's how it happened.
Well, yeah.
Well, we sat in I believe it was Bosselman's, when we were told about this encounter and
Yeah, I think it was.
how I mean I believed it was totally true. Dave.
Look at Toxic Venom. I'd love to see them come out with a third stick truck. I saw one on YouTube. There's
Yep.
a guy out of Quebec.
Yeah.
That's got three sticks.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the third stick's hooked up to.
You missed a super chat.
I don't know. Maybe it's power.
Here, wait.
Maybe it's power windows or something.
Here's the bloody dead back on us. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. By the way, I want to give my carrier a shout out. My boss has been in the business of 60 years. And he called me and Cassell, best decision I ever made. That must be the carrier, Cassell, eh?
Maybe.
Yeah. Huh. Shout out to my boss.
It just
Been in the
doesn't sound the
business
same
for
without Nick doing
60
that.
years. I know Nick's better.
You know,
at
he's got
this,
that
yeah.
big booming
He
voice.
called me.
Yeah, you know. Sounds so
Well,
official when you do it, Nick.
Yeah. Glad that it sounds like you work for a really good carrier, man. You're lucky to lucky to find
What's that?
a carrier like that. So they're few and far between. What'd she say?
You missed another one.
Oh, we missed another. Oh, there
here's
you go.
another one.
Oh, Jesus, another.
Thank
That's the
you.
same guy.
Jeez, yeah, bloody dead. I only had 2 years when I first joined him. Blew 5 engines, but not intentionally. I rolled my truck over the last year, but he keeps me working.
Wow.
You got a good guy there. You got a good guy. Thank you for the donations.
It's like rubber testicles on pickup trucks. Exactly. There you go.
Where is that?
Right there, underneath there. The
We're talking
fake
about
sticks are
the
like
fake
the
sticks.
rubber testicles.
Where's Nick tonight? Nick's here, but we're hogging his microphone. You want to say hi, Nick?
Oh, that's why he can't. Oh, he's got a mic.
No, he's got a mic. He just said he got it
He's
plugged in,
he's
I
just
guess.
shy.
No, Nick's here. Nick and Kathy are both here with us. Yeah, if Nick weren't here, we wouldn't be on because Nick is the guy that runs all this equipment.
What happened to Chinaman's truck?
Which one? Yeah,
You're talking the red,
red
Pete
one?
or the
the red one was the last you got.
Yeah,
truck you
well,
ever
somebody's asking though.
had. The last I heard, he'd sold it to a fella in the States, and it was sitting out in a field somewhere, which was a shame because I was. Should we tell him about the mural? That was a really cool truck. It had a set of sticks in it and a big cat motor. And it was,
Yeah.
How long was that thing? It was like
310 or something like
Yeah,
that.
it was.
It wasn't as long as mine. That's why I built
It was
mine on.
long, but really nice truck. But he had, God, I hope he's not listening. he went down to Phoenix, and he was a guy that liked murals. And this is back in the day when murals were a big thing on cool trucks. And he had a picture of his wife painted on the side of his bunk, and he was proud as hell of it, of the mural. And he paid a fortune. Like, he paid a lot of money. And someone pointed out to him, and I don't remember who it was, that the guy had painted his wife's foot on backwards, and he hadn't noticed it. And it might have been Len that pointed him out.
Probably.
I think it was probably Len that pointed it out to him. And Mike was just, his jaw dropped to the ground because he hadn't noticed it. He'd paid like 10 grand for this mural, and the guy had the foot on backwards. And that was a beautiful truck. It was a Clifford truck. Do you remember Clifford?
Yeah.
He bought it from Clifford
But short.
and customized it,
Yeah.
stretched it. It was 265 at Clifford, and then he stretched it. But that was a really cool truck, and it would go too.
I'm surprised you never got that mural of the naked chick with the sword riding the dinosaur on your truck.
What? He's just trying to get me in trouble with Kathy here now. I didn't even like murals. He's just trying to get me in trouble. What?
No.
Where did you pull
Not
that
me.
up? You meathead.
Come on.
Dude Love 86, do you still like tanker? Is the hazmat in Washington worth getting? Yeah, I always made good money running hazmat. It takes a while to get onto the shifting with the straight bore, with the liquid sloshing back and forth in the tank. Takes a little while to get the hang of that, but it's not, it's not rocket science. You'll get
Out of
it.
service.
But I liked it. But you know what was annoying, and if you're in the Northwest, that happened to me, was all the load runs to the back, and you got no traction on the drives when you're trying to climb the hill. That's a tough part of that job. Here's the Bloody Dead's got a question. Man, thanks for the donation. I can't say how much I appreciate. Got a question for both of you. What's the longest amount of miles you've gotten in a day? Mine is 1,200. And yes,
On
well,
E-logs?
on the E-logs, and I'm an outlaw somewhat. I guess so.
I guess, yeah.
Well, running straight back from California, that's a 2,700 mile trip.
Yeah.
So that's
I
your
never came
longest.
back straight, but I went out straight.
Well,
once,
same
but
difference,
Still,
same
but even
difference.
on a regular trip, I mean, from
On a regular trip, we'd do 900 miles a day.
at least, yeah.
On a regular trip, but the Lettuce King here actually ran to the coast straight through one time. That's 2,700 miles from where we are. So that's his personal best. I was never close to that, but I like wild horse pictures of trucks. They look more traditional. You would have liked Mike's Pegasus bunk mural. It was cool. It wasn't overdone. It looked classy.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
That's a
wasn't like
great
the circus truck. Tell us a story about getting ticketed for damaged airlines on your bogies after getting your trailer.
On the brand
Thomas.
new trailer.
That was a brand new trailer.
Brand new trailer, first load.
I picked up a brand new Great Dane reefer that I'd ordered. I picked it up out of, what's that town in Nebraska where they're built there? Wayne, Nebraska. I picked up my brand new reefer and I was pulling it back to Ontario, and it was in the wintertime, and I had the factory paint the top and bottom side rails to match my truck. So I had a dark blue truck and a stainless trailer with dark blue top and bottom rails. But when the factory painted the trailer, they also painted the undercarriage of the trailer. And they painted the airlines when they were painting underneath the trailer. And of course the airlines are on a spring and they're bouncing up and down. I get pulled into the scale just outside Toronto, and into the Milton scale it was, Fred, and pull me around back for an inspection, and the guy writes me up for cracked airlines. I said, this trailer isn't 36 hours old. The airlines are not cracked. It's just the paint, and the airlines are fine. He didn't care. He wanted me to change the airlines. So after arguing with him about a half hour and then giving up because I figured out he was an idiot, I called Glass Van Great Dane, the people that had sold me the trailer. They sent a service truck out with brand new airlines. And the mechanic looks at the airlines and goes, that's just paint cracked. There's nothing wrong with these airlines. And the mechanic gets into it with a scale guy. Long and the short of it was, I ended up paying to swap these airlines out that were about 36 hours old on this brand new trailer. And you know, some of the DOT guys, the MTO guys you'd run into in Ontario were really good, and some of them were really stupid. And this guy was one of those really stupid guys, and it was just unbelievable.
BJ and the Bear.
Where's that?
Muppet at the very bottom. I think the best color scheme is the BJ and the Bear stripes.
You like the red and white stripes?
Yeah. Terry Vogler had that cab over from Thamesville. Remember the big long one with the trailer all painted to match and everything?
Well, Notch Fox wants to know, when you were doing the 2,700-mile trip, what was the top speed you hit on that trip? Do you remember?
No. I would say top speed, probably. I don't think I probably would have run much more, maybe 80.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
Didn't hit the triple digits on that trip?
No, I don't think so. But it was just steady the whole trip. Like I said, I think I got out of the truck 3 times between here and the coast.
Yeah.
I left full. I got somewhere, got hot dogs, took a leak, drove till it was empty, drove. Something like that. I don't know. That was a long time ago.
Josh says I should have taken some acetone, take the paint off the airlines. I should have. I didn't have any with me at the time.
You probably didn't know it had paint on them.
Honestly, I didn't.
It was a super trucker moment.
Oh, friggin' idiot. Dave, I'm serious about buying your old truck. Curb Stomp. Email Kathy about that, Curb Stomp. We'll talk some numbers. Do you remember the DOT officer that told you your carburetor was leaking? I got pulled over in Louisiana, and the guy wanted to do a circle check on the truck, and the compressor was dripping a little bit. Not dripping, it was wet from oil. The compressor was starting to age, and the guy says, I'm going to write you a ticket because your carburetor's leaking. And I thought, what?
Yeah.
And he said it again. I said, show me, because I didn't understand.
Yeah.
It was news to me if I had a carburetor, but this was the DOT, and you didn't argue with them. And he points to the air compressor, and it was starting to seep oil. And I said, that's an air compressor. Well, I call it a carburetor. He says, okay, not gonna argue with you. You've got the gun. And he gave me a ticket for a leaky carburetor in Louisiana.
I got stopped by a guy for having no airlines between my truck and my trailer when I had them underneath. Till I pointed out to the nice fellow that they're underneath the trailer, not between the trailer and the... Yeah.
How did he think you were going down the road?
I was going to tell him it was a remote control Bluetooth trailer, but...
Unbelievable. He was bloody dead. The worst part of purchasing my truck from Sandusky was I was never able to drive it. When you see the pictures, you'll understand. Yeah, no, thank you very much for the donation. But yeah, no, I can pretty much guess what you're talking about there. But yeah, Lettuce Kings had some parts trucked in from all over the place doing some of his builds. California, Arizona.
My
Parts in with the lettuce.
Yeah,
brought parts
the
home.
cab.
Yeah.
He brought one, a 359 cab.
Yeah.
Eh?
No, a little window, a 351 cab.
A 351 cab home with a
Yeah.
load of lettuce.
Yeah.
It was in the back. Eh?
Yeah, yeah, and a set of boxes, a 6 and 4.
And a set of boxes,
Yeah.
and you had to go offload that before you went to
Yeah.
the market.
Yeah.
Because the lettuce
Yeah.
guys would have flipped if they'd have seen the truck parts.
With the
Used truck parts
The
in
cab
with
was
the
the
lettuce.
worst because I had to throw the skids up on the top and then pile lettuce inside the
That's
fucking
right.
cab.
The
and
cab and
Oops,
the
I
seats and
swore.
everything you just stacked with lettuce to get
Yeah.
all the load in.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, we couldn't explain to the lettuce buyer why he was short
Yeah.
because Lettuce King had a truck cab in there. And
The one I got now is it's all old parts from everywhere though.
yeah.
The cabs from Cortland's in California, the trannies came out of 379 that came out of Minnesota. The rear clips, just junk that I put together out of all kinds of different stuff. Lots of different parts in there.
God almighty. We got time for one last story? I think we do.
Okay.
God, there's a lot of them. I kind of like the one where you're pushing Len through Chicago. Do you remember that?
I pushed Len a lot.
Yeah.
Len was my favorite just because he was so easy to wind up about his truck being slow.
The Lettuce King used to like to tease a friend of ours named Len, who had a pretty nice truck. Eh? It was pretty big. It was pretty fast.
Yeah.
He drove it hard. But the Lettuce King had this Cat Marine engine.
Yeah.
That was it was ungodly. You didn't even have to drop a gear going up Sherman. So, amazing truck. It was, like 700 to the ground?
Yeah, more.
700
That's
or more
all we know.
horsepower to the ground. That truck it didn't have to slow down for weight or hills or anything. So, did Len ever really know what was under the hood?
Probably not. Not
No,
that
I
I
don't think he-
remember.
yeah, I don't think
I used to just tell him it was just a worn out old 4 1/4.
So the Lettuce King would convince our buddy Len that there must have been something wrong with his motor.
Yeah.
Because Lettuce King had the same motor and he was just walking all over Len, kicking the dog with him and chasing the cat. And Len would get so mad he'd go up to Caterpillar after running home with the Lettuce King and have them tune up the cat again because he was convinced something was wrong with it.
They'd pull up beside him going up Sherman and look
Yeah.
over him going, you
Yeah,
okay? You
yeah.
got water in your fuel? What's going on?
Yeah, we leave
Let's
Laramie
go.
going east and we get up on Sherman and the Lettuce King would pull up beside him and make questioning looks out the window and then just walk away from him like he was standing still. And Len used to get so ticked.
You know the other best time I remember giving anybody Bert.
Oh no! Don't tell that.
And not the big dildo story.
Super chat.
I missed this.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, here's Bloody Dead again, man. Thank you. The salesman blamed Kenworth for the cracked glass. It had a bent frame curtains ripped out. The engine was more out of sync with the tranny and so much more. Oh man! So he's got a bit of a job ahead of him.
Huh.
Wow. So had it been rolled or anything? Like why was it all bent up like that? Wow. So you got your work cut out for you, man. It's going to be a beautiful truck when you're done, though.
Curb Stomp. Always wanted to build a Superliner Mac.
And you had one of those.
I had a
Did you
Superliner.
like that truck?
I loved that truck. If I could afford to buy one now, I'd build another one.
Really?
Yeah, I love them. They're so just you can't buy a piece of junk for decent money, let alone a decent one to start with now.
What engine was in that?
Mine only had a 354 valve in it.
Huh.
But yeah, if you had like a V8 one with a 12 speed or something in it,
I'm looking for a 2000 W900 with an 18-speed auto shift. Well, the year 2000 won't have an auto shift in it. You'd have to put that in yourself. They didn't start putting auto shifts into trucks until when, like 2015?
so people couldn't shift gears anymore.
Yeah, like a lot of those guys. those guys like the automatics now, though.
We have one, and I won't drive it.
McNabb's had one, and I drove it, and it was all right. But what was weird about it was you get going down an icy hill, so you couldn't slip it into neutral and start getting onto the brakes. Like the thing would push you. Like it would want to go when you got your foot on the brakes, and it wanted to turn the twist the truck. So I would slip it into neutral anyway.
I hate everything about it.
Yeah.
Two super chats you missed.
Bloody
rolled
dead.
over.
Oh yeah, bloody dead here. Thank you, sir. God, man, thank you for all the donations.
Either you drive
standstill
cab-overs.
rollover, I think it's called. So yeah, I knew a guy at Canyon that did that.
Yeah,
The
blew him over?
The wind blew him over.
Yep.
But what happened was there was a ton of snow.
Yeah.
So the landing was
Soft.
So it kind of cushioned the fall, but. Goth Rocker 7, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Enjoy hearing your stories from the past and all the roads and states you've been through. Do you have a book?
Yes, I've explained it to him.
Oh, we have
Explained it to him.
Oh, you have? Okay. Well, Goth Rocker, thank you for the donation. Appreciate that very much. Thank you. But yes, King of Spades says the volume's low in his headset. I don't know if anyone
If
else
either
is
of
having
us
that trouble or not.
drove cab overs when we started out.
Yeah.
We both drove cab overs.
Yeah.
At one
yeah,
time.
we both started in cab over trucks.
Both the same, basically.
Yeah.
I drove a Transtar 2 cab over.
Yeah. Mine was a Transtar
Yeah,
that
and
I started in.
then a Freightliner cab over.
Yeah.
And then I moved up to a cab over with Bud wheels and the pancake air ride, man. I thought I was king shoot, because I had Bud wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the Transtar that I drove first had a silver 92 with a 13 speed.
Ooh, big ride.
And it leaked oil.
Yeah.
It went through more oil than it did fuel.
Yeah.
And loud inside.
Yeah.
Eh?
Oh, yeah.
Like
With
loud inside her.
Yeah.
And
I was Cummins powered, so I was slow. 350 Cummins.
the next one I drove was the cab over Freightliner. And that damn thing, the motor was all right in it.
Yeah.
But the damn truck had been wired by an idiot. And it had electrical trouble, like nonstop. I remember coming up here by 6 Mile Lake at about 2 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden all the lights shut out.
Yeah.
Like everything. Scared the hell out of me.
It's amazing how most truck drivers think they're electricians. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
Every time I buy a truck, I have to pull about 500 miles of extra wire out of them.
Yeah. Especially these days, though, you got to know what you're doing with these new engines to even touch a wire. It'd be beyond my skill level. Curb Stomp said he had a midliner
cab over.
Huh. Mac made a damn good truck back in the day.
Well, that's back when they were Macs.
Yeah.
No, I've never done a cab over build, although I'm thinking about it because I know where there is a early 70s cab over Peterbilt.
I know where there's a 70s cab over Kenworth, and it's not very far from here.
It's wrong brand for me, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, maybe we should go and catch our breath here. Auto shift, just get it standard, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would agree. But they say now that 50% of the trucks manufactured in the States now are automatics. 50% of them.
I'm telling you, that is half the decline of the industry is automatic trucks. And I can't say the rest of why it's bad because, you're right. But the problem with automatic trucks is the other problem drives them like they're cars.
Yeah.
And if you can't shift the gears and drive a truck like a truck, you have no business driving a truck.
Where I had the trouble with the automatic was backing into a dock. You couldn't feather the clutch, and so you just gently touch the dock. You were in reverse until you hit, and then it would knock you forward, and then you try to get it in neutral. You couldn't feather touch the dock with
the one that I drove. It's kind of like It's not an automatic like a car, like that's a fluid, just solid power. It actually cuts the motor off and shifts the gears and then goes again.
Oh, really?
So it goes,
Weird.
but it always does that when you're turning left, and you start to turn left, and then it shuts off just about the time cars are coming at you.
Heavy Haul Nick. Hey, man, thank you for the donation. We have 2 autos in the dump trucks, Allison and Eaton. I wouldn't drive either one of them.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah. And there's Bloody Dead again. Ain't that the point of trucking? You can't get rich, so you might as well make your ride amazing. Am I right?
That's
yes.
the only reason
you
to
are
do it.
Right.
Yep.
Yes, you are right.
You missed one before that.
You've got to, if you got to live in the damn truck, you got to like it.
You missed a chat before that. Lighting it up.
Don't. I did miss one.
Yeah.
And again from Bloody Dead. Man, thank you, sir. Lighting it up, adding subwoofers and so much more. I just can hardly wait to show you. It will be worth every penny it'll cost.
Yeah, sounds like it's going to be cool.
Sounds like it's going to be a cool truck, and it sounds like this guy's just gonna love it to death.
He's
too.
putting a
And
couple of
which is-
dogs in it too.
No, not those kind of woofers you
Oh.
had. Subwoofers,
Oh,
dogs. Anyway, we better wrap it up this evening. Pardon me. Thank you, everyone. Yes. What about the donations? Read the one that I have. What is he talking about? Oh, this is another one.
DeBoss Garage.
Heavy Haul Nick. That's a nice truck he's got. DeBoss Garage did a really nice restoration on the old Kenworth 100 double bunk. Thanks for the donation, Nick. But yeah, that's a really beautiful truck. He's down in southern Ontario.
Yeah,
somewhere,
apparently,
eh?
yeah.
But,
Yep,
yeah,
where's Fred Bezers? Oh,
Yeah.
1693. You're showing your age, Fred.
That's all right. You and I both know what that is too. So you can't be throwing stones at Fred.
I had one, but it was broken when I got it.
Yeah, that's right. Fred says he thought he was king back then.
Yep.
Yeah, you do. You feel like you're at the top of the world with the big ride. I still get that feeling when I go in your truck.
Yeah?
Oh, hell.
Well, come on down. I'll take you for more of a ride then.
Well, in the springtime.
What was the first hood truck you had? When I tell you mine, you'll be shocked.
1979 Western Star.
Mmm.
Picked it up right at the factory in Kelowna.
Wow.
And it was like a narrow cab
Yeah,
Western Star
yeah,
back then.
When
And
Western Stars were still cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you could, and beautiful upholstery inside,
Yeah.
but you could reach across and roll down the passenger window. It was that narrow.
You know,
cab.
Western Stars used to be beautiful. They had awesome button tuck interior,
Yeah.
that nice cab. Like they actually looked cool. Now they look like somebody opened the door and threw a grenade in them. But, you know, but the first hood truck I drove was a General.
Oh, really?
A General. Can you believe that? I wasn't in it very long, and then I went to a Freightliner, aluminum hood Freightliner.
Yeah.
But yeah, a
Man.
General.
When did they quit making those? In the
Not
80s.
soon enough.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you all very much for joining us tonight.
Hold on. What's the Lettuce King drive for a job? Right now, it is a 2015 Peterbilt 3-something Snopey-nosed heavy haul truck. 3-something. I think it's a 360 something.
I don't know.
I don't even know the number
I
of
don't
it
know
now.
the numbers of those. It's pretty maneuverable though.
No.
No, it isn't.
No, it's got front tires
It's got
as
the
wide
huge
as this
front tires,
desk, and it's
yeah.
like 280 wheelbase with a lift axle, and it maneuvers like the Titanic.
Here's Bloody Dead again.
Sorry,
Man,
my last
thank you
donation.
for the donation.
Wow.
Sorry for the last donation. I was hoping to get both of you guys' reaction on a live stream for everyone when it's done. Oh, you know what? We'll do that. We'll do that. You know.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely, we'll do that. I'm dying to see it.
Yeah.
So and
for
so
sure.
is he. So.
Heavy haul Nick might be 367 Nick. I'm not really sure. It looks like a regular. It's not that goofy cabbed one. It's got the regular like a 389 cab on it. It's just a setback axle heavy haul truck. So I don't know. I'll get back to you. I'll send it to Dave. I'll let you know. I could show you a picture of it, but I can't show you a picture of it. So
Anyway, We
What type of engine was
I'm
the
tired
cat?
of wearing this stupid
Marine
hat.
engine.
We got to sign off.
Okay.
I'm tired of wearing this sweater.
The
too.
Marine was a 3406B model.
But what a motor that thing was. My
yeah.
God.
Yeah. Can't be a 386.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
everyone, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Thank you to everyone that donated. We really appreciate it. Helps keep us on the air. We use it to buy pizzas for Nick, so he runs the equipment for us.
Keeps them smiling.
Keeps them happy, yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you again. Everyone, have a really safe Christmas and have a good Christmas. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Good night, everybody. Say good night.
Good night, everybody. Merry Christmas.